Let's take a look at this problem. Now this is a big one. We have three fractions. First fraction divided by the second and then minus the third fraction. Looks a little bit scary, but let's do it step by step. Let's divide first. Division go before subtraction. So let's see how are we going to divide a fraction. We would right away turn it into multiplication. Divide a fraction is the equivalent to multiply the reciprocal. So the first fraction stay the same. We have x squared plus 3x minus 10 and then over the 3x squared minus 7x plus 2. Stay the same, the first fraction. And then we turn the divide and make it becomes multiply. Multiply what? The reciprocal of the following fraction. So we make it becomes 6x minus 3 over x squared plus x minus 20. And then minus the third fraction. We are not touching that, but we write it again. Okay. Now be very careful. We should always write it down. Very often we have students focusing on one part and then later on forgot about the other. So while you're working on the first two fractions, everything else stay the same. All right, let's continue to take a look at the first two fractions. We want to times them together. The best way to do is factor first. Maybe later on we can reduce. Some of the factor could be the same. So let's see the first numerator. This is a trinomial and we have the negative 10 to look into. So let's see if we can take a look at the factor of negative 10. Something times together is equal to negative 10. So let's try to figure that out all the possible pair. 1 times 10, 2 times 5, 3 cannot go into 10, 4 cannot, 5 we already have. Now, but one of them must be negative, so that times together would be negative 10. So we are looking for the difference. The difference would be 3. Which one would that be? 2 and 5. And we need to give the negative to 2. So that when you have a negative 2 times 5, we got negative 10. When you add them together, you got positive 3. So we can write the factor form now. X minus 2 times x plus 5. And then over, now the denominator, we try to factor out the denominator, but that is a little bit troublesome because it begins with 3x squared. So we need to take a look at the AC method or factor by grouping. So we try to take a look at the factor of 3 times 2, which is 6. So let's see. We have 1 times 6. We have 2 times 3, and that's it. Okay. So it's not too bad. And we need to give the negative to every single one of them this time, so that it would be possible when we add them up together, it would give you the negative result. So which one would be the right pair? The first pair, negative 1 and negative 6. Negative 1 times negative 6 is positive 6. When we add them together, is negative 7. Now, but this time we cannot read the factor form right away. We would have to do more. We would need to break down the minus 7x, make it becomes minus x minus 6x, and then plus 2. And now we group the first two terms together. And then we group the last two terms together. Now be very careful. This time when we group the second groups together, we would have to change sign because we see the minus 6x over there. And now from the first group, we can factor out the x, and from the second group, we can factor out 2. Finally, we see these two terms both have a common factor, 3x minus 1. So let's further factor out the 3x minus 1. And so we got 3x minus 1 times x minus 2. Now let's put this factor form back. So we have 3x minus 1 times x minus 2. And then times, let's take a look at the second fraction. The numerator, we can factor out 3. So we have 3 times 2x minus 1. And the denominator, we need to take a look at the factor of negative 20. So we have 1 times 20, and then we have 2 times 10, 3, no good, 4 times 5. And one of them must be negative, so we are looking for the difference is equals to 1. So which one would that be? 4 and 5. And we give the negative to 4. So negative 4 times 5 would be negative 20. When we add them together, yes, positive 1. We can read the factor form, x minus 4 times x plus 5. And we still have minus the third fraction. That remains unchanged. All right, now let's take a look at the first two fractions. Do they have anything in common? Yes, we see that the x minus 2 can be cancelled out. We also have one more, x plus 5. We can cancel out. So nothing else. So now let's see what happened. We have the 3 times 2x minus 1 and over the 3x minus 1 times x minus 4 and then minus the last fraction. Now notice that after we reduce, we do have a restriction. We have a condition here. We know that the x cannot be 2, and we also know x cannot be negative 5. So maybe we should put down the negative 5 first, right? Let's put down the restriction here. X cannot be negative 5 nor positive 2. Okay, now we have the first fraction minus another fraction. That is surely a big one. Well, allow us to bring it to the next page so we have more space to work on that. Let's see. Okay, so we have two fractions minus each other. So we need to identify the LCD. We want to make sure the denominator would be the same. So what would be the LCD? The first denominator, 3x minus 1 times x minus 4. The second denominator, we only have 3x minus 1. So the LCD will be 3x minus 1 times the x minus 4. Now notice that the first fraction already have the LCD, so we don't need to do anything in the first one. We just leave it untouched. But the second fraction, we want to turn the denominator into the LCD. So how can we do that? We would multiply both top and bottom. Multiply both numerator and denominator by x minus 4. X minus 4. Now remember, when you times the numerator and the denominator got to be the same thing, right? So you indeed multiply this fraction by 1. So the next step, we will minus the numerator together and keep the same LCD. So we have 3 times parenthesis 2x minus 1 minus 2 times x minus 4, and then the whole thing over the LCD. Now, some students might try to distribute the 3 and the 2 right away, but be very careful. Don't make any careless mistake. We are going to do it now. Distribute the 3 into the parentheses. So we have 3 times 2x, we have 6x, minus 3 times 1, 3. And then distribute, now be careful, is minus 2. So it would becomes minus 2x and then plus 8. Right? We have minus 2 times minus 4, and then the whole thing divided by the LCD. Okay, let's see what else we could do. On the numerator, we can combine the like term. So we have 6x minus 2x, we have 4x, we have minus 3 plus 8, so that would becomes plus 5. And then the whole thing over the LCD, like this. Okay, do we have anything to reduce? Nope, we don't have anything. So I think we got the final answer. Now, don't forget, at the very end, we should always put down any restriction that we should be aware. We have x cannot be negative 5 and positive 2. So this will be our final answer.